Now there are several important points here. The first point is Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is indicating that those who do not have sufficient spiritual intelligence should not try to become absorbed in the studies of the Vedanta Sutra. Of course, those who have been blessed by the spiritual master, they should study Vedanta. In fact, the Srimad Bhagavatam is nothing but Vedanta. It is an explanation of the Vedanta Sutra, and therefore that is fine. However, if one becomes a foolish impersonalist, then instead of studying Vedanta, he should hear the true message of Vedanta from a Vaishnava, who is the personification of the Srimad Bhagavatam, and he should chant the holy name of Krishna under the guidance of such a Vaishnava. Then he will get the brain to understand the Vedanta Sutra properly. At any rate, studying the Vedanta Sutra is not the primary activity that will lead one beyond material existence. The prime activity that one is meant to engage in, is the utterance of Krishna's holy name. Hare Nama, Hare Nama, Hare Nama, Eva Kevalam Kalau Nasyeva 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 Gatiranyatha. 3 times it has been said that it is only this, it is only this, and it is only this. So Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, because he is chanting the holy names of the Lord without any offenses, therefore he is naturally very attracted to this holy name, which is not different from Krishna himself, he himself. So then he said that he had gone to a spiritual master to confirm, why am I feeling like this? In fact, he had asked his spiritual master, what is this? Why am I thinking all these things? And his spiritual master explained here, Kiba mantra dila gosai, kiba tar bol, japite jamite mantra korilo pagal. Pagal means a madman. My dear Lord, what kind of mantra have you given me? I have become mad simply by chanting this Maha Mantra. This is the goal of Krishna consciousness, to develop authentic madness. We are all currently in the unauthorized madness of material existence. We are also mad. Trying to enjoy material existence is nothing but madness, as Srimad Bhagavatam repeatedly points out, from the first canto to the 12th canto repeatedly. But this is good madness. To be mad after pleasing Krishna, that is very, very nice. That is revealed in the Srimad Bhagavatam and made even more explicit in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's teachings. Hasai nachai more karai krandan, eto shuni guru hasi bolila bachan. Chanting the holy name in ecstasy causes me to dance, laugh, and cry. When my spiritual master heard all this, he smiled and then began to speak. So finally, the spiritual master becomes happy when the disciple attains pure love for Krishna. Krishna naam mahamantra reito swabhav, jai jabe tar Krishne upajaye bhav. It is the nature of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra that anyone who chants it immediately develops his loving ecstasy for Krishna. So if we chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra without offenses, even if we attempt to overcome the offenses, Krishna becomes satisfied and he helps us move up. Krishna Vishayaka Prema Parama Purushartha Jar Age Trinatulya Chari Purushartha. Religiosity, economic development, sense gratification, and liberation are known as the 4 goals of life. But before love of God is the 5th and highest goal, these appear as insignificant as straw in the street. Now, what is this idea that is being spoken of as there being the 5th Purushartha? We know from various scriptures there are 4 Purusharthas: Dharma, Artha, Kama, and Moksha. Kama, sense enjoyment; Artha is resource for sense enjoyment; Dharma here refers to pious credits with which will be awarded by the laws of nature resources for sense enjoyment and obviously sense enjoyment. And Moksha means a state of existence beyond attainment of Dharma, Artha, Kama, which are inextricably interlinked with suffering. So Moksha means liberation from material existence and material suffering. Now, what is this prema as the fifth Purushartha? And there are some Vaishnavas, such as the South Indian followers of Madhvacharya. They have attempted to criticize us um, for bringing up prema as the fifth Purushartha. But we will see that there's plenty of evidence. Specifically, there has been a lot of evidence catalogued by our acharyas, and Srila Rupa Goswami has brought this up in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. This is Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, division 1 and second subdivision within it. This text in purple is written by Rupa Goswami. The text in black, this is a parallel statement given by Srila Prabhupada in his Nectar of Devotion pertaining to this. So I have juxtaposed Rupa Goswami's statements with Prabhupada's statements together here. This is text 25 here. Shri Krishna Charanam Bhoja Seva Nirvrita Chetasam Esham Mokshaya Bhaktanam Na Kadachit Spriha Bhavet. That one who is satisfied with service to Shri Krishna's lotus feet, for such devotees, at no point is there a hankering for liberation of any type. There are 5 types of liberation. We know that there are 4 types of personalist liberations, and there's 1 type of impersonalist liberation. But for those who are serious in Krishna consciousness, according to the Srimad Bhagavatam and the scriptures, they don't even hanker for liberation. Now, this is a very, very important point, that if this is not an object of pursuit and something else is the object of pursuit, then that would naturally come under the category of Purushartha. After all, what is a Purushartha? Purushartha is Purusha Sadhya. Purushartha refers to activities which are objects of pursuits of human beings. Purusha Sadhyas. So we learn generally from the scriptures that there are 4 Purusharthas. For those who are absorbed in these 3, actually for those who are absorbed in these 2, this Trivarga is considered a very great achievement. And for those who life after life, having come inside the circle of Vedic Dharma, they are entangled here. They are meant to progress up to here. They are meant to understand the value of liberation. And then comes the Srimad Bhagavatam, which says that there is something even higher than that. That there are certain personalities who hanker for something superior to this. So that which they hanker for as being superior to liberation is a Purusha Sadhya. It is a goal for these persons. And because it is a goal, it is natural that it would be counted as the 5th goal. Here there are plenty of evidences Srila Rupa Goswami gives. Yatha tatraiva Srimad Uddhavoktav, as in the statement of Uddhava, Canto 3. Here is a passage where Uddhava is saying, my dear Lord, for persons who are engaged in your transcendental loving service, there is nothing worth obtaining from religiousness, economic development, sense gratification, or liberation, although happiness from these different sources can be very easily had by them. In spite of such facilities, my dear Lord, I do not aspire to achieve any such results. My only prayer is that I may have unflinching faith and devotion unto your lotus feet. See? Tathapi naham pravrinomi bhuman bhavat padam bhojan niveshan utsuka. Very, very clear. Similarly, another statement. Here is a statement by Lord Kapila. You may say, it's just Uddhava's got some psychological problem and that's why he's speaking like this. But listen to this statement by the Supreme Personality of Godhead himself. He also describes that this is a normal status for those who are liberated through pure devotional service to him. Kapila Devoktav, in a statement of Lord Kapila, again from the 3rd canto. Devotees whose hearts are always filled in the service of my lotus feet and are prepared to do anything for my satisfaction. Especially those fortunate devotees who assemble together to understand my qualities, pastimes and form, and thus glorify me congregationally and derive transcendental pleasure therefrom, never desired to become one with me. And what to speak of becoming one with me if they are offered a post like mine in my abode, or opulence like mine, or even personal association with me with similar bodily features, they refuse to accept because they are satisfied simply by being engaged in my devotional service. Diyamanam na grinanti vinamat sevanam jana. Without service to me, these devotees do not accept. So the Lord has endorsed this as being authentic. Here's a statement by Dhruva Maharaj in Canto 4, Chapter 9, Text 10, to a similar effect, that those who are pure devotees, they are superior to those who are seeking impersonalist liberation. Statement by the original king, Maharaj Prithu, from the 4th canto, where he's saying that I don't want liberation. 5th canto, Shukadeva Goswami's statement. He is talking about Bharat Maharaj, and he's saying that for those who are fully absorbed in devotional service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, abhavopi phalguhu, even liberation is insignificant. Insignificant. Look at this. Any person whose heart is attracted by the transcendental qualities of the Supreme Personality of God, Madhusudana, does not care even for that liberation which is aspired to by many great sages. What to speak of material opulences? Now that is Shukadeva Goswami, who is himself a liberated soul. He is speaking. This is perfectly normal for one to be so attracted to endeavoring to please the Supreme Lord without any other motivation. For such a person to hanker for service to the Supreme Lord and not wanting liberation is normal. And he's also awarded such a position. It is not that it is simply a psychological hankering. That goal is achieved. The Supreme Lord gives them that type of devotional service. All of this is brought out very clearly in the Srimad Bhagavatam 6.11.25 statement of Vritrasura, where he is also saying, I do not want anything other than service to you. Here Lord Shiva, Canto 6, 17.28, where he is saying, Swarga Pavarga Narake Shwapitulyartha Darshana, that those who are pure devotees of Lord Narayana, for them being in the heavenly planets, attaining liberation, or to being put in a hellish situation, all of them are as good as another. Tatraiva indroktau aradhanam bhagavata ihamana nirashasha yetu nechyantyapi param te swartha kushala spruta. That the first class experts, they actually know what is their self-interest, and they have no interest even in the supreme purushartha known as liberation. Saptame, 7th canto, Prahlada in Prahlad's statement, Prahlad is also saying the same thing. Tatraiva, in the same 7th canto, Shakrokta, statement of Lord Indra to Lord Nrsimha, where he is also saying that Muktis Tesham Nahi Bahumata. See, for those who are interested in full devotional service to your Lordship's lotus feet, liberation is not such a great achievement. Attainment of liberation is not so great. Ashtame, 8th canto, statement of Sri Gajendra, he is also saying the same thing. Navame Sri Vaikuntha Nathokto, in a statement of the Lord of Vaikuntha in the 9th canto, Mat Sevaya Pratitam Te Salokyadi Chatushtayam Nechanti Sevaya Purna Kutonyat Kala Viplutam. Those who are always satisfied by being engaged in devotional service to Krishna, they do not aspire even after liberation. What to speak of aspiring after things within material existence which are destroyed by time. Sri Dashame Nagna Patni Stutau, when the wives of the Kaliya serpent prayed to the Supreme Lord Krishna, Canto 10, Chapter 16, Text 37, there also he says, they say, Yat Pada Rajah Prapanna, those who have surrendered to the dust of your lotus feet, they do not care a fig for any other perfectional stage. Na yoga siddhir apunar bhavam va, they do not even want freedom from birth and death. They do not want anything other than to please Krishna. Tatraiva Vedastutau. Look at this. The Vedas themselves, they say, the Shrutis, they pray to the Supreme Lord.